Thank you. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests. 10 years after the adoption of the Paris Agreement, the reality is crystal clear. Science confirms that the climate crisis is accelerating, that's for sure. While geopolitical tensions complicate the global response, according to today's EPRS analysis, even with the full implementation of current commitments, the world is heading toward a temperature increase of around 2.4 degrees, far above the 1.5 degrees threshold. Despite progress such as the agreement's tripling of adaptation, financing and operation of mechanisms to manage loss and damage, global emissions continue to rise. We all know that. For us, socialists and democrats, this means we cannot be satisfied with fragmented efforts. We must transform the spirit of Paris into a real, just transition that protects people, local communities and European cohesion. In this context, the European Commission's work programme for 2026 rightly highlights energy and climate as central pillars of Europe's competitiveness and autonomy. Strengthening energy security through renewable sources, simplifying the energy framework and upgrading European energy policy are recognised as key priorities for the Union's economic resilience. And let us be clear. Whether we speak with equal passion about green energy or natural gas, today the economy is in much better position. For our group, however, energy security and climate action are not competing goals, but interconnected ones. Europe is secure only when it's green, and the green transition can succeed only if it is socially just. The world has already entered a period of climate extremes where every additional tenth of a degree means more disasters, greater economic losses and disproportionate impacts of the most vulnerable. It is no coincidence that international justice, through recent decisions, including that of the International Court of Justice in 2025, now interprets climate action as an obligation of states for the protection of human rights. We cannot ignore developments in the international environment. The recent decision of the United States to withdraw once again from the Paris Agreement represents a regrettable retreat from a collective commitment that concerns all our futures. The absence of the world's second largest emitter from the international process weakens global efforts and creates a political vacuum at precisely the moment leadership and consistency are required. China, too, the world's largest polluter, despite the impressive industrial capacity in clean technologies, continues to increase the production and consumption of coal, while financing fossil fuel projects abroad. Without a substantial shift in China's policies, the global goal of limiting warming will remain exceptionally difficult. The climate crisis does not recognize borders. That is why our political message is clear. If we want to keep the Paris vision alive, Europe must lead. We must strengthen investment in clean technologies, support communities in transition and guarantee the resilience of our energy system. Climate neutrality by 2050 is not an abstract target. It is our collective obligation. And at the same time, allow me to say something very positive that we've reached as a humanity in the recent years. We must reclaim Europe's leadership of the international stage, and the truth is that significant delays persist in submitting national commitments, and there are a lack of agreement of phasing out fossil fuels at COP30. But what I want to underline is that we've managed as humanity to reduce the ozone layer. And that is a very positive signal that if we are together and we work together as the whole planet, as governments, as united as we have been in the last couple of years, then we can reach even the same thing in the climate change. And that is my hope and wish for the coming future. Thank you.